Hi guys, this is Mrs. Siefker, and this video is to share how you can create a OneNote to save your research resources. So when you're creating a OneNote, the first thing you want to do is to always create the notebook in your OneDrive. So you'll have to sign into your Office 365 to get there. Once you're signed in, you can use the apps to go into your OneDrive. Don't be mistaken in going into the OneNote app. Will be the collection of all of your notebooks once you create them. But actually creating it in the OneDrive will ensure that you are having a backup into your OneDrive so it's saved on the cloud in case your computer ever crashes. So if you have a folder for your class, I would open up that folder. And when you're in the folder, you can come up to New and create a new OneNote notebook. And you can name your notebook how you see fit. Something where you will remember. So when you first create it, it is opening up onto the online OneNote version. It looks a little different if you're used to using OneNote on the computer. Your sections are actually over here on the side instead of on top. And here's where you can create your other sections. So you could call this your Article 1. And depending on how many resource articles that you need, you could keep adding. You could also right click and you can rename your sections. And you can drag them in a certain order. Nope. So if you prefer to work on the computer, you have the option to edit in OneNote. When you click on this, if it asks you which app do you want to use, make sure that you are using the OneNote for 2016 app. It just has a little bit more options than the OneNote app. So if you've never signed in to your OneNote on the computer, it's going to be asking you to sign in with your Office 365 account. So a couple of things when you're signing in. Make sure that you choose school or work account and that you're using your Office 365. So now that I have it open on the computer, I am able to work in here, and anything I do will sync and save it to the cloud. So at this point, you could close out of your OneDrive or your OneNote, and you could close out of here. And then anytime you want to hop back into the OneNote, you do not have to go online anymore. You can open up your OneNote notebook from your computer. And it should be the first one that pops up if this is the last notebook that you were in. The cool thing about OneNote is there is no save option. It's constantly syncing and backing up to your OneDrive. So if your computer crashes in the middle of your research, you will be able to hop online, get your notebook, and everything should still be there. So the next part is, how do I actually get my articles into the OneNote? So for your persuasive paper, we showed you a couple of different places that you could go and research. So if you want to go back into your library page, and into the high school 912. So remember, you could search in here to find your articles. And no matter where you're searching, no matter what database that you choose, you're going to have to use that login. So when you find an article, if you read this and you deem this is a pretty good article, it has good information for my paper, a couple of ways that you could do this. You could print, and you could say send to OneNote in your print options. So depending on your browser, your print option might look a little different. So for you guys, you won't have too many other options except send to OneNote. Or you can copy and paste. The one thing about copying and pasting an article is you don't want to forget anything important, like your title, the database, the author's name, and then usually at the end of the articles in the database, it's going to provide you with a citation that you would want. So if I copy that, making sure I got everything. And then you can go into your OneNote and paste it. And then you will have the article. Sometimes when you do the Control V, it looks a little funny. So one way that you can paste is to select text only, and then it should clean it up a little bit more, and it will take out all of the hyperlinks and the images that might be distorting the article. So once you have an article in here and you're ready to read and take notes, when you have your highlight option here, and you can even start color coding what you want to highlight. So if this was something that you would want, then you could click on your highlight. And you can click anywhere in the OneNote, and then you can start taking your notes, and it creates a text box that you can move around and adjust as needed. Now the last thing you want to make sure is, do you have your citation? Because you're going to have to cite in your paper. So when you're copying and pasting, you will want to make sure that you come back to the database and find where it says cite, if it's not provided at the end of the article, and you want to find the MLA citation, and you want to copy just that citation, because this is going to save you a lot of time when you are writing that paper. And then here's your citation. So now you're able to copy and paste and format this for your works cited page. And of course, if you have any other questions about creating a OneNote or saving your articles in here, please come find me.